Welcome to the Bikeshed Podcast, where we talk about all things software engineering, technical prowess, and probably AI, but hopefully not AI. I'm your co-host, UI fanboy, caffeine jitter junkie, and owner of more than 10 plus keyboards, Scott K. And alongside me are my co-hosts, a man whose opinion has never been wrong, well, at least according to him, Matt Hamlin, and a man who, when he talks, you better prepare for some heat, Dillon, Spicy Curry. Dillon, what are we chatting about today, bud?
Thanks, Scott. We're going to kick it off with a quick round of just getting to know everyone on the podcast, just daily routine. I just want to see, what are some things you do every morning that you think make your day go well as a software engineer? What makes you productive? Just share a couple things that you think maybe that you do that maybe other people don't do that help you be productive. I'll just kick it straight over to Matt, and he can get us started here.
Yeah, for sure. I start every morning at 3 a.m. I go for a 15-mile jog. No.
That's the secret.
Yeah, it's a secret. No, but I guess I wake up early. I used to wake up really early, but not too early anymore. But I do usually start my days with a morning walk, maybe a couple miles. I found that to be really useful, just to sort of stretch the legs and maybe do some thinking along that walk. But usually it's just listening to a podcast, so it's not I don't know. But once I actually do get into work, I usually sort of use Obsidian, my Vault, as my sort of hub for everything I'm doing. I routinely take a lot of notes in my daily note, sort of jump back to previous notes to see anything I had as action items that I wanted to follow up on for this next day, any work that I need to continue following up on, and then I go through and check email and Slack. Usually emails I just archive everything. There's nothing usually active worth taking action there, but Slack is the go-to in terms of other things to follow up on. I think also my daily routine maybe kind of changes depending on what tasks I might be working on. If I'm working on just sort of small one-off tickets versus a bigger project. But yeah, it's I don't know. It's usually I just sort of go through my notes, see what I need to dig into, and then just sort of start getting into the code part. I don't know if that's all that insightful, but yeah, feel free to
Yeah, I want to ask a follow-up question. I think we both worked with you a lot in the past, and we both think that you're highly productive, maybe get more work done than most people that we know. I think Scott can vouch for that. Maybe Scott has hot takes that are not that. Maybe he thinks you suck. But I just want to know, is there anything you do that you think sets you apart from other engineers?
That's a good question. I mean, it's hard to say. I think probably just the amount of note taking that I do is maybe a key aspect. And maybe it's not even just active note taking in terms of actually writing in Obsidian or in Notion in the past, but it's just things floating around my head that I'm remembering to do. So it's through the process of doing a ticket, I'll probably think of 5 or 6 other things that I probably want to do. We're kind of related to it, but maybe not worth doing in the same PR. And so I'll either actually capture those in my notes, or I'll just make a mental note of it and hopefully come back to it and open a separate PR for it later. I don't know. I feel very not that I've ever I don't know. It's I feel very erratic maybe when I do work, and so that maybe that helps just because I'm doing a ton of things, but
yeah,
maybe not. I don't know.
I think what I'm hearing is you don't just do the task. You find tons of opportunity while doing the task to make improvements on other things, and you note that, and follow up on it as well, rather than just note it.
Yeah, and I mean, and I don't always follow up on everything. It's there's been plenty of times where it's I add a to do to my notes, and it's 2 weeks later I look at it to do, and I'm I'm not really feeling I like that. That's not worthwhile doing. That's low hanging fruit. It's not worth spending the time doing it, so I just like remove the to-do. But yeah, I guess for most times it's just like sort of accumulates a list of things I could follow up on.
Cool. What about you, Scott? Got anything?
Good question. I think since I venerate Matt so much, I basically do a lot of the same stuff. But basically, when I get up, I probably immediately get coffee. Pretty addicted to it. I drink about a whole pot by the end of the day. But I start by looking at like my personal email, and then I migrate over to my work email on Slack and check my calendar to kind of prep for the day. I tend to pop on music or podcasts, but like one of the things that helps me focus up is literally putting on my headphones. And I honestly liken this to when we worked together in the past in an office where we sat essentially on top of each other, that like noise canceling headphones just make me zone in. And similarly to Matt, I use Obsidian or Notion or Notes. I kind of switch it up, and I kind of keep a checklist of things I was doing yesterday, goals that I want to accomplish today. And then I kind of nuance those as I work on tasks to see if those tasks really are proven to be more challenging. And, you know, one of the things I think I honestly have learned from Matt is like, how can you might have a task, but how can like I continue to break that down and continue to make progress, right? Sometimes we tend to look at a task and think it's easy. But in reality, there's more moving parts than we anticipated, and we need to make it into more more smaller parts. But also like we do that same stuff with ticketing, right? So we might need to call out right away, hey, this isn't as simple as we thought. We need to do X, Y, and Z. We need to flesh this out into more tickets. Matt, do you have more thoughts on that?
I just wanted to follow up. You said you called out like sort of you set goals or like tasks for you to follow up on the next day. Like, do you have any sort of system in place for that, or or is that maybe like a little flexible day to day?
It's a really good question. It is flexible day to day. It's more of like it's very much related to what I'm currently working on, and where that is. But also like I try to just essentially I like to feel accomplished. It's really important to me to feel like I've like checked off those tasks before I leave work. Maybe it's poor working culture, but like there's always been for me like I can't stop working even if I've worked a full day, or actively been working for 8 hours until I've like accomplished something. So sometimes just breaking things down into checkbox amounts to show progress is how I need to validate to myself that I've completed a work day and I've done and put in my part for that day. So it varies, yes, from day to day and project to project, but there are some more mundane tasks that could be like daily. I haven't been great at it, admittedly, lately, but sometimes fleshing out tickets and scoping work, I try to integrate some of that every day. There's those more minor tasks of things like I started with, like checking emails, making sure I'm getting back to everyone and getting that no one needs anything from me when I'm done with the day, so that I leave everything off in good standing, and that if there were open questions or I've more clearly articulated to the rest of the team and other folks, like where I stand before I'm done. So people don't come to me, or to reduce people needing to come to me on off hours to be like, oh, hey, we have to do X, Y, and Z. Things happen, especially at a startup, but we just want to try to increase communication and reduce the need to scramble, essentially.
Cool. Dillon, what about you? What's your daily routine like?
So I don't like mornings, but I do try to get to work on time. And I've found that I am just a lot more productive from the office. I know this is probably like people probably hate that idea. But when I get to the office, I usually try to just map out my day in bullets of like sort of stand-up update for myself, but like what do I want to get done? And honestly, I don't usually hit all of those marks, but it's just like I just want to like get that out of my head so that I can refer back to it if I need to in like the chaos of the day. And then after that, I'll like try to just make sure I know what's in my email, like I've checked all of that. Nobody's like waiting on me in Slack. There's nothing like I need to do. So I can basically unblock myself to be productive and get work done, and not have people like waiting on me to do something. Because when I'm doing work, I'm like usually so hyper focused that I like forget Slack and email exists for multiple hours. Um, so if I can like get myself in a headspace where it's okay to not think about those things for a couple hours, I'm just gonna get a lot more work done. Otherwise, I'm like getting distracted constantly and context switching, and I feel like I get nothing done by the end of the day. So yeah, that's it. That's my day.
I've definitely been in those, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm maybe the opposite of you. Where I like jump back and forth between Slack and all the other distractions, every 30 seconds or something. But yeah, it's interesting that like, yeah, maybe like, I don't know. It's just like, we have different ways of being productive maybe, and it works for
Yeah,
both of our styles.
yeah. I just have to feel like I'm free from distraction to get work done sometimes.
Yeah. What one other follow up that I wanted to dig into is like, do you guys do like end of day summaries for yourself at all, or is it just like the start of the day kind of notes? Scott, you were kind of talking about like like the goal setting sort of aspect or whatever for the next day, but it's like, do you actively maybe at the end of the day go through and say, okay, here's the things I need to follow up on?
That's yeah, actually the answer is yes. Like that's why I create like the lists I have. And I constantly throughout the day create lists or use lists to see like what are the other things that I might forget. But beginning of the day and end of the day and during the day, I'm adding and removing. But I review it at the end just to see like what does tomorrow look like, so I'm as prepared as I possibly can be. Do I need to talk to anybody? Do I need to set up any meetings? So yes. Um, it I want to just point out, like I did at the beginning, I did say like I admired your work ethic, Matt, and it's really about your ability to be fast and to check so many avenues. And while you do things like slightly different, my creating of tasks and lists is kind of something that I've learned to do and really actually lean into. It's something I did prior to meeting you, and you actually pushed me down the path of leaning into it. And so I just want to say like I'm like a little bit of you, but also a little bit of Dillon, where I do need a distraction free environment by like putting my headphones on and just like focusing on the thing at hand to get going.
Cool.
Cool. I'll add just to like the end of day notes thing. I I'm like if I do that, I'm like glad I did, but I usually don't. I feel like at the end of the day, I feel like I'm running out of time, and then 5 hits and it's like I gotta go commute. So I just like slam my laptop shut and run. Like so it's just like the end of the day is kind of a mess for me. Maybe that's something I can work on.
Well, I think, I mean, you're like in this, I don't know, I think, we're kind of like the scale of like who goes, like, going into the office or not, right? Like Dylan, like you go in very frequently. I go in very rarely, and Scott basically never. Um, and, and so it's like maybe that also influences it.
Well, we do on sites.
Yeah, you can like finish up whenever you're done and take your time. Yeah, I don't have that.
Yeah, Scott's commute is like 4 steps behind him to the couch, and then
But even when I did go in, I still like wrote like these are the things I need to prepare for tomorrow, because it's like part of my unwinding process. Like these things will just stew in your mind after sitting there for 8 to 10 hours, and you'll worry about it and think about it all day. But I need to like find ways to check out of what I just did and feel confident that I did what I needed to do, or I did as much as the next engineer would likely do.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, and like I do like I don't necessarily do a like an end of day summary, but what I have started to do is like I added to my daily note template is a section of that I call outcomes that has like a bulleted list of summary and then a bulleted list for artifacts. So like summary is just like I talked like unblocked this or like talked to so and so about this, whereas artifacts like sometimes it's just like here's the PR I opened or like released a new project or whatever it is. Then I like sort of tag things, but I think that's more the way I look at it is like more like doing roundups after like maybe a month or a quarter or a year or whatever to help me feed into reviews or whatnot. Just like see that progress over time versus like day to day reflection. But yeah, I don't know. It's still very flexible. Like I haven't like I don't know. I've been doing it for maybe only 3 months now or something, and so it's like still pretty new. I haven't really like found a good working system for it.
Mine's a lot more laissez-faire and ad hoc. I would say it's just more of like getting those bullets there and being able to like look at it and parse through it and just be like, okay, set the stage for tomorrow. I know where I need to be, and I'm making progress to really just make me feel like I'm accomplishing things. I don't know. Sometimes we do tons of tasks in software, but it doesn't feel like we're doing anything. And then we actually look back and reflect and realize, oh no, I did do a ton and we did make progress. And just seeing that in like list form for me reinforces that feeling for myself.
Cool. Do we want to? I think we have a few special segments this time around. Do we want to jump into the first one up, or do we have any other follow-on thoughts on our daily routine? And it feels like that. I mean, we probably could go into deeper aspects of it, but maybe we save those for separate episodes.
I feel like I have like 10 follow-up questions, but we would be talking about this for the next like 5 hours. Are we going to my segment?
Correct.
All right, let's do it.
We need like a little intro jingle or something.
We need a sizzle, like a frying pan.
Yeah.
Play the quack sound.
Yeah. The name of the segment is Spicy Takes with Curry. You probably don't get that joke. It might not even feel like a joke to you as a listener, but my last name is Curry, so that there's the joke. But I'm gonna give a spicy take. It might be like 200,000 Scoville units, or it could be like 2 million Scoville units for those Hot Ones listeners out there or watchers. But my hot take is it's just based on my experience at work recently with like code reviews and things, but it's that people just abuse like when they're writing React components, they'll just like pass every piece of data you can imagine as a prop through it. And they sort of stop caring about the single responsibility principle of a component. Go ahead, Matt.
Oh no, it's like that. As you were talking, the like it's free real estate meme came to my mind, and it's just like props. It's free real estate. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's like it's something we talked about just before the show is it's not just that is the hot take for me. It's that people get so busy just trying to get work done that they just stop caring about like the quality of their work. And then it's just sometimes it's like a lack of education, but I don't know. Sometimes it's like a lack of caring.
Yeah, when you were out, well, not necessarily last week, but the last time we recorded an episode, we talked a little bit about this article, like Nobody Cares, which I think kind of shoes in nicely with your hot take a little bit.
Is it spicy or is it just kind of mild? What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like we should have like a spicy scale to rate these takes by. Like maybe it's
I
like
agree.
what, mild, medium, and hot or something, or
Like
medium,
Tabasco?
mild, and hot.
Yeah, maybe the Taco Bell packets. Is
What
that mild, medium, hot, and extra hot or something? I'll look it up.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah. I'll give that a medium on the scale. I feel like it's not that spicy, but yeah.
Yeah. The more I think about it, the more I'm like, most people probably feel this way, so it's not that spicy.
Scott, what's your hot take you have there?
It looks like I want to say there's mild, medium, hot, fire, and then Diablo. So I think that's going to be our scale moving forward. I'll make sure to jot that down in the notes.
I feel like the weekly, like the goal for every episode, and when you have a hot take, is just try to hit Diablo. And I just wasn't thinking about that this time. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. So my spicy take here. It was Diablo, but I've decided to go more along something that I actually believe in and not just say something a little bit absurd. Can I just give two?
You're limited to one.
All right. The design system should conform to what the user's needs are.
That's a hot take. What?
Well, I mean, we all worked on a design system that was a lot of pushback about this, where it's like, oh, you're actually looking for this. No, the design system should actually just straight up conform empathetically to what the user says it needs. The other take, I'm just going to say it, design systems shouldn't exist.
All right, that one's spicy. I guess like I think I now understand what you're saying with the first take, where it's
Maybe need
like
context.
I think it's at like it's sort of like a competing concepts a little bit of like I think what we see, and maybe this is like more of like a we need to do a design system episode or something, but it's like I think what we've seen is like usually organizations roll out a design system to try to influence the design in a certain direction, whereas I feel like the way you're like the way you're phrasing your take is like the design system should just meet what the current organization needs it to be potentially, and not necessarily try to influence it or point it to a certain end state.
Yeah, I guess the team that creates the design system doesn't use the design system, and they tend to admit that. And what I think is there should be less pushback from that team to act as if they know what's best in more scenarios than the people using the design system feeling the pain. Maybe I'm just speaking from my only experience on a design system, probably, but we had it backwards.
It's worth pointing out that we both worked on a design system together for like 5 years. So we probably have like 100 hot takes on how to have a good design system. So yeah, Matt was right. This should be like its own episode.
Yeah, I'll throw that in there. Yeah, throw it on our topics list. I think I would rate that maybe a hot take, like on our scale. So it's kind of like in the middle. It's not too spicy, but not too mild. Dylan, what's your rating?
Let's see. I think it's medium, but maybe that's like the optimistic view is that like it should just be that way. But I think you guys were arguing that like it never is.
All right, is it my turn to share my hot take?
Yep.
All right, I'm hoping this gets closer to Diablo, but we'll see. Um, my hot take is that you should not always assume good intent.
I'm not talking. I'm just mouthing what you said.
Wasn't sure if I dropped.
I feel like it's like a philosophical proverb or
Well,
something.
so okay, in my context, it's like related to maybe engineering or like onboarding or I don't know. But like I feel like usually people like when you come into an older code base or just a code base that is new to you, I guess. Um, a lot of people will say, yeah, just like assume good intent of like the original implementation, or like when you come in to review a PR, it's like assume good intent that they're trying to do the right thing. My hot take is like you maybe maybe that's like harmful in some cases if you always assume good intent, and so sometimes you actually need to I'm not saying you should be hostile, but like you should like look at it and say like actually that wasn't a good intent to go down this path, and we need to like reverse and go down a different path or something. um in my mind, it's like the two common, like maybe two common examples that you'd probably run into this is like looking at a PR that's like maybe going down the wrong path for the wrong reasons, and or like looking at a legacy code base and trying to think like, does it make sense to rewrite it? Like, why did we end up where we are now? And it's like, like assuming good intent is not going to let you actually make a constructive decision on, actually making a change or improving it. That's my take.
I don't know the spiciness level
It
yet.
is mild, medium, hot, fire, and Diablo. So how can you rank mine? You don't know the level of your.
You go ahead, Scott. I don't know. Like I'm still tasting it. I don't know
All
what
right,
what the
it's
spice level
tough.
is.
I have like so many thoughts that I'm gonna try not to drone on here. I'm gonna say it's a hot take, right in the middle. I think it's a good take. I think it's surface level of a take though, because I think when you get into the nitty gritty of it, it's like, yeah, you could like they may have intended good things, but also like you're not getting the contextual. We were strapped for time. We had to get X done. This was the priorities. So there's like all these other factors to that. I'm like conflicted in the take. I see where you're going with it, but I'll give it a hot take. It's a hot take.
I guess like my point is like I feel like we use those as like excuses, right? The like oh, like
Yeah.
they were time constrained, et cetera. Like maybe we shouldn't use those as excuses. Like it's like that; those are just taken for granted, and then like I don't know. Yeah, yeah. Okay, I can see where you're going.
I agree with you, but I feel like the
Yeah.
assume good intent personally is just like more of like a don't be cynical towards your peers kind of take or use case.
Yeah.
And like maybe that means I don't fully believe in it. But I agree with you that it's like sometimes people just put out shit to get it done. Like there's a little more to it, but like, yeah, you can't always assume that the code was written with the best intent or good intent. So I like your take. It is hot. It's a good one.
Yeah.
Dillon.
Yeah. I think that's it. Now that the more that we're talking about it, I think it's a hot fire take, somewhere in
Ooh,
between.
Okay.
Yeah, I feel like that saying is definitely trying to say like just be respectful to the people that did the thing before you. But I think it's good to always like ask why and sort of challenge what we did in the past and try to make it better. Like it's okay to call out things that were wrong about what we did. We're not going to be able to like get better and move forward if we don't do that.
I got a mild salsa level take from Dillon, but Matt's got the fire. Bring in the fire. All right. I want design systems shouldn't exist. Retake.
I mean, my company doesn't have one, so
All right. Well, we're running closer on time. We'll just try to get to our final segment.
Yeah, we'll
right.
think about that take and give our review next time.
All right. Back to our most popular and best segment. Viewers have been saying it's the best. We're low on time, so we're going to try to get through this. We're going back to 2 takes and a fake. We have 3 topics. The 2 takes and a fake. Somewhere I think I wrote a monologue, but basically this is where I stay on Twitter, X, or whatever. I'm trying to use Blue Sky to bring you the hottest takes. 2 of these takes are real. One of them is fake. Dillon and Matt have to guess which one. We got 3 rounds of questionings. Likely there'll be one winner. If you both win, that's great. All right, let's start. Did Dax say this? Dax is an engineer in the internet. All of these came from him except for one. Which one is that one? I'll start. VC, former operator. What they mean here is they were a product manager at a CRM tool for veterinarians. It's our first take. 2, launched on AI-powered theme switcher. It only recommends beige. 3, set your ShadCN theme to brown. Call it ShatCN. Dillon, which take is fake?
give me the first one really quick.
VC, former operator. What they mean here is they were a product manager at a CRM tool for veterinarians.
I think that's the fake. That's got to be
Got it. Matt.
Wait, did he get it right, or did you?
No, you both have to guess
Okay.
first.
Yeah,
I
okay.
can't tell you.
All right. You just said got it, so I was like, all right. I think the third
Dillon
one
says
is
one.
fake.
You think this is
ShadCN?
Man, you are both wrong. It's 2. Lost an AI-powered theme
Well-
switcher. It only recommends beige.
It might help if we knew who Dax was, but
I got that recommendation to follow him from you, Matt. So, all right. Topic 2. V0. You can now select files to lock in V0. V0 will only edit unlocked files. That's 1. 2, V0 will now stream and build logs as you deploy. Matt, no cheating. 3, V0 now supports environment-aware configs, letting you define settings per deployment target. Dillon, which one is the fake?
I don't know, Matt, you go.
the first one.
Matt says number 1. Dillon, hit me with a number, 1, 2, or 3.
I'm just going to guess 2.
You're both wrong. It was the third one. I guess I got to make these easier. V0 now supports environment-aware configs, letting you define settings per default target. All right, so it's 0-0. Anyone's game here. Let's see if anyone can win this one. Next topic is
I feel like we were just given a multiple choice, but like we never got like the homework. We never studied. Like
yeah.
I
Need to
just didn't get
study.
the answer.
All right. Last one. All right. AI is the topic. Number one, a Slack bot that analyzes your code base and dependencies to predict potential issues such as bugs or performance bottlenecks before they arise. It sends regular reports with insights and recommendations to help keep your project running smoothly and prevent roadblocks. 2, I'm now running my project inside a dev container in Cursor. I went from a dozen troubleshooting sessions every week trying to find people's environments to 0. Dev containers just work. More developers should consider them. 3, after hours of fighting, I finally implemented over dragging in the select to zoom feature. I tried every AI model to solve it, but all failed miserably. It was one of the hardest things I've done in months. Matt, which one's fake?
I'm leaning towards either 1 or 2. One sounds like it could be an actual pitch, so I'm gonna say 2.
Dillon.
It's 1 for me, and I gotta go. Catch you guys later.
And Dillon is correct. It is number 1, and Dillon wins 1-0. Matt knew it too.
Oh, darn.
Those were too hard.
We need to go. I don't know where our scoreboard is. We need to figure out where our scoreboard is so we can.
I think you won last time. It's 1-1.
Yeah. All
The
right.
points are all made up and they don't matter. Just remember.
Yeah, I think. I guess like with that, we can maybe jump into the final segment. Scott, what's up with you? What's something new that you've been looking at or learning about?
This is the only topic I haven't prepared for, Matt. But I'll tell you. I'm constantly updating my NeoVim config, but something cool I've been doing at work, I've been doing a lot of UI heavy work. I know I've been just talking about Go lately. I still am knee deep, neck deep in that, but I have been doing some cool parallax stuff with WebM files. Our designer gave us like a mock that I thought we needed to convert to CSS and have it animate on scroll. And while I gung ho did that for about 2 hours, I was told actually no, just take these video files that animate on scroll. So it's very similar to what you see Apple do on a lot of their screens when they have new products, but rather they like show you the product and it moves on scroll. It tends to be a video or a series of pictures that are moving. We're doing that with a video, and it's been pretty cool because I've never used this technique. So I like getting back into this ability to learn like heavy UI, and I've been spending some time looking at Jay is an inspiration for me, but some of those more UI heavy solutions that he's come up with, I've seen him do a lot of things with tables that were or just with CSS essentially that I was trying to do when we were at Fireworks. I name dropped, whoops. But I had a lot of opportunity to really push the UI boundaries. Like on the Fireworks homepage, you can see like this cool opacity fade we do with the has selector. And he was doing a lot of that with tables. So he had a lot of cool ideas that were reminiscent or just like a play on some stuff I was doing if I had pushed those concepts a little bit further. So I kind of want to get back into doing that really cool visual stuff and hope that I get more time with that. And this video scrolling stuff was kind of a reintroduction to that. Matt, what's up with you? Anything new?
Oh man, I think I even forgot to prepare for this also. I don't know. It's I've been working on another side project. Big surprise. Released yet another side project yesterday, also kind of unrelated. I feel like we were talking about earlier in the episode, it's like I go on these tangents where it's like I'll just like go like I don't know, like
plug the side project.
All right, it's called Vendor. That's the one I released yesterday. VNDR on NPM. It's just a quick little CLI to let you download stuff. Like
so it's render,
like if you want to
but it's vendor. Got
well,
it.
it's
Nice.
not like render, but it's like it'll like vendor in a script for you. So like or vendor in a package. So if you want to like inline a package, kind of like the way the Shad CN works, versus like install it into node modules, like you can just run buttx vendor your package name, and it'll just like copy the package into your own project, and you can like tweak it as you see fit. And it works with like GitHub URLs and stuff like that. It was pretty neat. Like I basically had an idea at, I don't know, maybe 9 p.m. hopped into Cursor and said, build me the script. And it just cranked it out. And it was great.
So
So maybe,
Cursor built a new package. Sweet.
yeah, maybe it's Cursor's project, not mine. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's about it. I don't have anything else. It's like it's been really exciting. It's just like kind of working on these side projects. Like this one, the other one I'm working on is like I'm trying to put more effort into, and it's just more gnarly to build it. Maybe we'll talk about it in a couple episodes time.
Yeah, I also like the other day we were chatting. I was trying to set up a monorepo template with Moonrepo. I got about nowhere. I half built it and then had to leave. But I have something locally, and I kind of just wanted to play around with that and what that would look like. So that's another thing I'm excited to do. I was originally, I don't know if I said this here, but I wanted to like write a to-do app in Node and then rewrite it in Go. I might still try to do that after I build this template app. I might just forego writing the to-do app in Node since I know I already have one and just look at it and then and then just be like, okay, now how do I do that in Go so I can take that skill set with me as I continue to grow. But that's really that's it.
The trick with doing sort of language comparisons that I think most people should key in on, like whether or not they're like making a technical decision on what language to adopt, but more so just like learning a language, is like you should write a project in a language you know first, and then write it in the language that you don't know. Because if you do it the other way around, like the problem is like no matter what, you're going to come away with some learning from the first project as you go into the second project. And so you're like, oh, that was like a weird pattern. Let me restructure it when I go into the second one. And so now you're biasing your like, I don't know, biasing your learning, biasing whatever metrics you care about in terms of comparing them. So I don't know, maybe that's like a useful way to approach it.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. That was like the original plan. I just know that I've done this and was like, do I just look at it or do I do it again? But maybe I'll just do it again just to refresh my brain on how I would do it.
Cool. All right. Do we want to call the episode there?
You got it. Check us out at thebikeshedpod.com.
Wait, it's without the though. It's just bikeshedpod.com. And if you want to insert an ad segment, go to bikeshedpod.com/sponsor, which we haven't built yet, but maybe it'll exist eventually. We'll see.
And maybe we'll buy the bikeshedpod.com so I can be correct. I realized as I was saying it that it was wrong, and I was like, I gotta lean in here. I can't stop.
That's truly what DDD stands for is domain name driven development. Where
That's
you
right.
buy the domain name first and then you build the project.
That's right.
All right. See you next weekish, maybe.